Hi all, welcome to Kyburn's 57th review. This is for Numenera character options. These are not only found in the core rulebook. There are some things in here that you can only find in this version. Of course, this is first edition. I haven't seen second edition, so I can't speak to that. But this is first edition character options. All right, so the themes here are creating characters for Numenera's ninth world setting. And it really reminds me of Diablo 2's item naming conventions, but for characters. And that's pretty cool, right? You could also use it for monsters. All right. Okay, so now we're on the same page. We see where this shines. My big complaint, though, is that it has a loose skill system. And you might have been there where you have a skill system that's relatively loose and it doesn't really define what it does specifically. It gives you a vague idea, and then you get into a debate with another player, or the game master. Or the game master says, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that. And you don't really have a reason other than this ability that you can think of that you can do what you need to do in that moment. And that bogs the game down. So, creating a firm skill system and then layering player ingenuity on top of it is far better, in my opinion. Sorry, preaching. My high praise, though, is it's got an excellent layout, and I'm going to show this to you guys because I think it's incredible and just awesome. Sorry, it's one of these thinner books, and it's hard to flip through, which is why I stopped flipping through a lot of them. Okay, so over here, see, core book callouts. It'll highlight text in the normal text, and then it'll have this icon over here. That tells you it's in the core book. But for other stuff, it just highlights it and tells you where you can find it. That's pretty cool. And then also the index on page 95. Yeah, right here. Adjective, nouns, verbs, descriptors, focus, and types. All right. So that's awesome. And it twists what you know about a setting enough that way you can modify your setting. I probably would never play Numenera as written because some things are weird, and I like weirdness in some state of normalcy. My high praise, though, is the excellent layout and the quick reference and the index. The key points, though, are the core book callouts on 5, the character types on pages 6 to 17, and then also the descriptors on 18 to 30, location-based descriptors in the ninth world, 31 to 39, racial descriptors on 40 to 50, and then your foci on 51 to 80, and your optional rules on 81 to 90. One of my pros, though, for this is it does give more options as well as higher character progression for players and game masters that need that for Numenera. The cons, though, are the race as descriptor. It's like first edition Dungeons and Dragons all over again, where you're either an elf or some sort of human fighter, some sort of human rogue, or anything else. It takes away from the choice you made. And I think if it gave it some drawbacks as well as some advantages to balance it out, I would rather see a noble dwarf fighter with a quiver. I don't know. Just something other than, oh, you're a dwarf, you can't be anything else. The other names in here, they're hard to pronounce. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. That's why I'm using dwarf and elf, because I don't really care for the Ninth World's level of weirdness. Uh, and that's kind of a con for me too. But everything about this book, other than the flavor, I guess, makes sense. And that's why I recommend it. So I'm gonna give you guys an option here. Let's see. What if you guys were fighting a foolish manticore? A foolish manticore who explores deep waters. How does the manticore do that? He's foolish. It's funny. And it might be dangerous. And that's why I would recommend it. Because you take something, you add two concepts to it, and then suddenly you have a unique thing. All right. That's Numenera character options. Kyber out.